Hi, how you doing? Don't mind me, I haven't even washed my face today. Not yet, anyway. I gotta get on the ball today. It's been really about relaxation and self-care. It's been kind of a heavy week. I've heard that from a lot of people, and I get it. I can feel it, but there's just so much happening. And a quick reminder that even when it's good things, it can still seem hectic. It can still be stressful. So, all the more reason to take care of yourself and really be in touch with yourself where you're at any given time and how you're feeling so that you can make those adjustments needed to find your balance. Um, but that aside, I wanted to come on here really quick to let you know that I was inspired a few weeks ago. Um, every, my goodness, find my words. Every day for a few years, or a couple at least, I've been putting out other people's memes on my story, my personal story. Just things that resonate with me, things that I've either experienced, maybe going through, or that just really kind of make sense and figure I could share with other people. I always say take it if it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, leave it, because everyone's at different levels and not in a competitive way, but everybody's at different places in their soul's progression. Okay, so you take what makes sense for you in that moment, and if it other things make sense to you later down the road, you come back to it. Otherwise, just leave it be. It's not meant to shame or make you go into self-judgment or whatever. Most of the stuff I talk about or pass along or create is really just there to help you get in touch with yourself. Okay. So in any case, I was inspired a few weeks ago to start an Instagram page under my business, which is Integrative Transformations LLC. So if you go to that, you'll see that for at least, I think I've made like 21 posts so far. But I just started creating my own memes. So I still do the personal stories, but I know not everyone has access to me on a personal level. So I decided that I would just start writing my own. So again, it's not going to make sense for everybody, but other people, they may appreciate it. So if you feel like giving me a follow and checking out my memes, go on over to Instagram if you have an account and check it out. Again, it'll be my business logo, Integrative Transformations LLC. And I do have my business website tagged in the description of this account. So if you go to my website, there's a link to Instagram and my Facebook page and this page too. So just an FYI. So that aside, one of my most recent posts, memes, was talking about self-love, right? And I just wanted to touch on that really, really quick. You hear a lot of people say that until you love yourself, you're never going to experience love and da, 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 da. And people oftentimes misunderstand what that means, okay? That doesn't mean you're not going to have love or that you can't experience it, okay? That everyone in your life is nefarious because, you're not attracting true love. What it means is until you understand your own worth, until you appreciate yourself, it's hard to ever accept true love from someone else who truly appreciates you. You're always going to think you're being lied to. Not always. I'm generalizing here, okay? And that's the thing with memes is they're very generalistic, okay? They don't apply to every scenario, every situation, because we as human beings are so nuanced, right? We have so many different exceptions and caveats and there's just too much to go into every situation. So this is why it's important to take what makes sense for your scenario and leave whatever doesn't, okay? Because it will make sense to a lot of people, other people not so much. So what it's just basically saying is it doesn't mean there won't be people who love you that come into your life. It's just you're not going to experience it the same because you're almost going to viscerally reject it. If I don't think I'm lovable and someone's professing love to me, any kind of love, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be familial love. It could be your child. Your child could be telling you how much they love you. And there's a part of you, because of your unconscious belief systems, that may reject that. And then we project, right? So maybe we seem aloof, or we're not connected in the relationship, or we're not fully vested. Or maybe we run because we don't feel we're worthy. Okay, so that's why it's so important to get to know yourself, spend time with those recesses within your mind and your life, so that you can heal and purge any of that maybe has been existing for you, because you are worthy, whether you believe it or not. And sometimes we believe it consciously, which I usually, that's the conscious, but the subconscious, the unconscious belief system may say we're not worthy because maybe we integrated a false narrative as a child because we misinterpreted someone's rejection or someone's inability to be present with us because they were going through their own stuff, or maybe they were working 5 jobs, or there's all kinds of scenarios, right? But little kids don't have a full brain. Our brains don't fully develop until we're in our mid-20s at some point. So you're working with, and that doesn't mean children are ignorant, or, well, ignorant. We're all ignorant to some degree. But it doesn't mean that they're less intelligent or things like that. But you can only work with the skills that you have at the time. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. And kids misinterpret a lot of adult behavior. And the problem is the brain always wants to be right, and it looks for patterns. So if I misinterpret the fact that my mother or my father can't spend time with me, and I look at that and integrate that as there's something wrong with me, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not lovable, because why wouldn't they put me first, or whatever. But I don't understand what they're going through because I'm not an adult, right? And yeah, I'm not making excuses for people's abusive behavior, because there are people that absolutely abuse their children. Okay? And I'm sorry if that's triggering for anyone. I'm talking more along the lines of it's less, intentional, and more just, oh, I can't do that right now. I got to pay the bills, or I can't do that right now because I won't be done with work until such and such time, or, or I got called into work and I have to cancel, things like that, right? Those adult problems that kids don't always understand. So that's why it's important to be transparent with your children up to the level in which they can understand. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So that's what that means. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to have love. No, it's not that you're not going to have love. You're just going to misinterpret it. You might think that someone's lying to you to manipulate, or you may think that that's nice that they say that, but you never fully absorb it because it just doesn't vibe with your internal belief system. Okay, so we just naturally reject it, or we just flub it off like, oh yeah, thank you, love you too, and then move on, but we're never fully vested in it until we heal ourselves. That's what that refers to. And the product of healing yourself is self-love. Because then as you heal, you start to learn your worth. You start to learn that regardless of what you've experienced in life, you are a whole soul, a whole human being, and you have purpose. But until you get to know yourself and heal yourself, you're not going to know what that is. Not fully anyway. You're not going to fully integrate into it. And you're not going to fully accept and give love until you get through some of those barriers. Okay, so that's my 2 cents, and I'm sorry for my disheveled appearance. I hope you have a wonderful day, and like I said, give me a follow here if you don't follow the page. I'd appreciate it, and feel free to follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. Instagram is just the memes. Facebook, I share the memes too, but I also post like newsletters and other things over on Facebook. things going on with my business and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Give me a follow if you feel like it. In any case, I hope you have a great day. All right. Bye.